Let's go, boys. It's the Meatlock. You see the text. And real quick, shout out to our latest sub, STL Card Hits. Appreciate you getting that easy light work Meatlock last week. Booty the baddies. Stepped up, first round finish over Josh Parisian. And that was light, easy work. And as much as we might hate to fake say it, this could be light, easy work as well. It's Brad Tavares taking on Chris Weidman. And it's been rough for Chris Weidman. Like, the dude is obviously an OG. He's a legend of the game. But he's lost 6 of his last 8. And the last time we saw him, it lasted 17 seconds. It was a brutal, devastating, leg-snapping TKO leg injury loss for him. And you just wonder at this point in his career, what is Chris Weidman going to return at? He's basically 40. He's got interests outside of the UFC. Very successful coach, analyst. The dude does it all. And he's probably fighting on a still pretty juicy former champ contract and maybe just showing up in this one against Brad Tavares. And Brad Tavares, I mean, yes, it was kind of rough in the last fight. He lost against peak return of blindado Bruno Silva, and that didn't look great. But the fight before it was a very close decision loss against Dricus du Plessis. And if Dricus just smoked Whitaker and is essentially the next dude at 185, then for our boy Tavares to be in that close of a fight with him, I think gives you enough confidence to be able to take out a legend like Chris Weidman, who just simply doesn't have it anymore. So what are your thoughts on this Meatlock? How do you think that our boy Brad Tavares gets this one done? And is it going to be early and often?
You know, I think this is going to be very early and often. If you look at Chris Weidman's last few losses, they are by brutal KO finishes, and Chris's confidence is most likely at an all-time low. He's worried about that leg. Like, what if that leg snaps again? He has not fought since 2021, I believe. And I don't know. I just don't see any way he wins. So the odds makers have it right with Brad Tavares. I think that's a very fair value where it's good money still to be had. But also there's some juicy props in there too. And I think this is going to end very early.
Yeah, it very well could. And I mean, we haven't seen Brad Tavares get a finish in kind of a long time. It's been a minute. Christoph Jocko in a late third round fight. We were actually there. It was the last time he got a finish. But the guy is usually a decision machine. But to your point, I mean, Weidman's chin is a little bit sus at this point in his career. And so you wonder if Brad is able to resurrect that KO sauce, especially having just gotten KO'd. He's trying to do the same to his opponent now. You never know. And if we look at Tapology, people, 71% is rolling with Brad. Majority beige for the decision, and I'm kind of there. I sort of think that maybe this is one of those fights where Chris Weidman, we talked about earlier, is going in there trying to survive 15, and similar to when the Beverly Hills Ninja finally went the distance in his last fight, he was elated at the outcome, and I think we're going to see an excited Chris Weidman who just went 15 minutes, got destroyed and dominated nonetheless, but went the entire distance and didn't get absolutely slept. So I'm going to go Tavares by decision. In this Meatlock, though, Meat Boy, we're obviously throwing down an easy 270. It's going to net 100, get us that 81st Meatlock. Continue what Booty the Baddies did for us last week. And it's just difficult to envision a world where Chris Weidman gets this one done. And while sometimes it's necessary for the bittersweet lock, it's a Meatlock nonetheless. And Brad should keep the streak alive, Meat. So any last thoughts?
No, I think you're 100% on that. I think Brad will keep the streak hot and on the barbecue, I guess you could say. But throw in the comments who you taking and why. Are you riding with the Meatlock or are you fading it?